Right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, give it up for your headliner tonight, Dave Membrilla!
How fucking tall is everybody? All right, let's get this party started. Where are my drinkers? If you're drinking, raise your glasses. Let me see your drinks. Raise them up. Fucking hey, drink up for me, because the doctor made me quit. Said I was drinking too much. Can you believe that? I went in for a physical, found out my blood type was Jack Daniels. You believe that? I haven't been to a liquor store in 2 months. They put out a silver alert for me. How about another round of applause for Rodney and Connor? Especially Kenny, you know, it's hard enough to get a comedy gig going in town, let alone coming all the way out to 2 hours away to get something going. So another round of applause for Kenny. Yeah, and Rodney and Connor, don't ever be fucking funnier than me. I gotta tell you, I've been getting bombarded by emails from a site called ChristianSingles.com. Have you heard about that? Join ChristianSingles.com. Find the love of your life, ChristianSingles.com. I got sick of it. I'm getting like 8 or 9 emails a day. I got pissed off. So I decided to join. When I signed up as Satan, they paired me up with my ex-wife. Can you believe that? She would have been a good match for Satan because her profile name was Beelzebub. Oh, that shit was funny, man. I don't care what your pronoun is. That shit was funny. So where are my folks? Do we have any military here from Fort Huachuca? Anybody? Fort Huachuca? No. Really? Shit, they stayed home tonight. Maybe they got deployed. I don't know. God bless them. I was driving in and I saw Huachuca City. And then I saw Fort Huachuca. I just like the name Huachuca. Doesn't that sound like some badass weed? What are you smoking, dude? So Huachuca. And driving in, I swear, I could have been as far out as that McDonald's. I saw a fucking airplane or something, like right up on, looked like a blimp. Yeah. Bullshit, that shit looks like a gold cracker. What does it do? I didn't know what the fuck it does. What does it do?
I can't tell you.
Is it for the border patrol? No shit. Maybe it'll find my cousins that have been lost out there. Well, you know, I am a comedy hypnotist, except we need a bigger crowd because it's fun to get a bunch of volunteers up here. I do hypnosis comedy shows all over the place, and they pretty much create themselves because all I do is I get volunteers and I put them under hypnosis. We do little skits, but once in a while I'll do a skit that'll make me kind of wonder, oh shit, I didn't expect that. Like for instance, I was in Casper, Wyoming. I was doing a rodeo fair, and I had some good old boys up there on the stage, and I had them all under hypnosis. And I like to do my favorite skit is a Martian skit where I make them act like E.T., extraterrestrials, you know, E.T. phone home, that kind of bullshit. So I told this one guy, good old boy, I said, when I snap my fingers, you're going to pop out, you're going to become an alien. You're going to walk like an alien, you're going to talk like an alien, you're going to do everything an alien does. Ready, 1, 2, 3. I snap my fingers, he started speaking Spanish. No shit, trying to sell me some chiclets, man. Don't laugh, the fucker stole my job. It was funny when I realized what had happened. I got over to the side of the stage and yelled, La migra! Fucker took off running. Rocked his MAGA hat and everything. It was funny. I was doing another hypnosis show and it was adult humor, adult content. I had this beautiful woman right there on stage. And so I had her under hypnosis. I touched her on the knee. I said, the lady I'm touching now, when I snap my fingers, you're going to open your eyes, you're going to see me buck naked. But I was fully clothed, mind you. But she was going to see me buck naked. When you open your eyes, when I snap my fingers, I said, ready? 1, 2, 3. I snapped my fingers and I gave her one of these. And I could hear her giggling. And the audience was laughing. I turned around and gave her a crotch shot. She says, oh, were you swimming? stage-fright hypnotherapist. Hypnosis will help you lose weight, quit smoking, get rid of fears and phobias, and get you that motivation you want for that job. It'll do all of that stuff. But once in a while, you know, doing hypnosis shows and hypnotherapy, it shoots me in the foot because after I make somebody act like a chicken on stage, they don't want to come to me with personal problems, you know what I mean? But shit happens in my hypnotherapy practice that makes me kind of take a step back and say, oh shit, I didn't expect that. I had a black client come in, and he was born blind since birth. He must have been in mid-40s. And he played beautiful piano. But his main thing was he was afraid his whole life to play publicly. He wanted to play, you know, professionally. He couldn't do it. Stage fright. That killed him. But that was an easy fix. Because what I did is I put on a hypnosis. I said, okay, when I snap my fingers, you're going to pop out of hypnosis. You're no longer going to have stage fright. You're no longer going to be afraid to play in front of people. In fact, when I snap my fingers, you're going to pop out of hypnosis every time. From that moment on, your fingers hit a keyboard. You're going to be the best black entertainer the world has ever seen. I said, here we go, 1, 2, 3. I snapped my fingers. He said, what? I'm black? That's a brand new joke. I think that's a keeper. I'm going to tell you right now, Kenny Shane had this conversation with me the other day. It made me think. He wanted to get together and talk about where do my jokes come from. I'll tell you what, 99.9999% of my jokes are 100% true. Okay? It's a 0.0001. You got to ask yourself, is he telling the truth or is he bullshit? Okay? Because I will tell you, the majority of my jokes are true. They are correct. I love doing comedy. I love to do hypnosis shows. I get to tour all over the place. I just came back from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tell me, do you know who was famous and lived in Milwaukee? Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah. So I flew up for a show and I came in a day early, and so they picked me up at the airport. They said, hey, show's not till tomorrow. What do you want to see? We got beer gardens. We got nice restaurants. I said, I want to see where Jeffrey Dahmer lived. And he said, can't, because in the 90s when all that crazy shit happened, the owner of the apartment building where he lived bulldozed it. It's gone. No, man, I was bummed out. He said, but check this out. The owner saved the refrigerator where Dahmer kept all his victims' body parts. Yeah, and he has it for sale on eBay. Can you believe that? He asked me, do you want to buy it? I said, hell no, I don't want to buy it. Probably costs an arm and a leg. You're going to be using that one at the job site tomorrow, what? Well, you know, once in a while you get treated, when you do comedy, you get treated like a king. I got a call from a CEO in San Carlos, Mexico, of a resort there. He wanted to call me, he called me up, I don't know how he got my name, but he wanted me to come down there and talk about doing a comedy show for all the people here in the United States that own condos down there. And so he said, come on down, I'll buy you dinner, give you a night free. So I went down there, and I got in his office, introduced myself. He grabbed the keys. He said, let's go. And we jumped in the car. So where are we going? He spoke perfect English. He said, do you like seafood? Well, yeah, I like seafood. And then he went on to talk about the seafood place he was taking me to. Swore to God that I would never see anything like that on a menu in the United States ever. And he just went on and on. What he did, that's when it got awkward. Because when I said, okay, let me explain it this way. Mexican food only has so many dishes, right? You got burros, tacos, chimichangas, that's it. You know, Italian food, so many dishes. There's a whole world of food in the ocean, you know, for seafood. I eat two things. I eat shrimp and lobster, that's it. I don't eat mussels, I don't eat mollusks, I don't eat snails, I don't eat kelp, I don't eat any of that bullshit. I don't even eat crab. Not even crab. Like crab legs, you gotta break their legs to get to the meat. Who am I? Fucking Tony Soprano? Forget about it. So that's when it became awkward. So we get to the restaurant, he runs in, he said, get a table. He comes out, we got a table, he's wearing an apron with one of the cook hats, and he's got a tray of shit. He wants to put together a sample plate for me. And sure as shit, I'm looking at the menu, there's stuff on there, I can't believe that they eat this shit. And so he says, he's sharpening the knives, he says, have you ever tasted eel? Eel? No, I've never had cut a piece of eel, put it on the sample plate. What about puffer fish? Have you ever had puffer fish? Now, if you know about puffer pufferfish, you guys didn't know, it's a poisonous fish. It will kill you if it's not prepared right. So of course I never had pufferfish. He cut a slice of pufferfish and put it. He said, what about seahorse? Have you ever eaten seahorse? I didn't even know you could eat seahorse. And there was a little souffle there with bits of seahorse. You got a spoon, put it on there like that. What about sea lion? You mean like those little cute things at SeaWorld? Got a piece of sea lion. You're going to sample it right now. What about orca? Orca. I was just happy I didn't see sperm whale on there. I have no desire to eat sperm whale. Now, my wife was a little disappointed. That shit was scary. Because I couldn't shake that visual of her wiping sperm whale off her lips. But that's it, man. That's it. Shrimp and lobster. I also played mariachi music, and I was doing a gig in Nogales, Arizona. And it's a mainland, you know, so I was craving some seafood, some shrimp and lobster. But, you know, how fresh is it going to be? So I called a Border Patrol agent, buddy of mine, you know, who's stationed there. Because who knows better where to eat than Border Patrol agents and cops, right? So he gave me the name of a place, and, you know, it was nice, big, clean. You know, some of his Border Patrol buddies were already there. Apparently the catch of the day was a family of 6. They all looked like jumbo shrimp being walked out of the van. Oh, don't laugh at that. That shit was just me. That's a brand new joke that I tried out tonight. So what are the neighborhoods like? Are they nice? Are they nice out here? Yeah? You know, I was talking about traveling. My favorite place to go to is El Paso. Anybody from El Paso? Nobody? Good, let's talk about them fuckers for a while. Because in El Paso, everything is Mexicanized. Mexicanized. I ate at a Chinese-Mexican restaurant called Chingasus. What's up with that? Right there in the corner of Orale and Puto Cabrón Way, right? But I'll tell you the best thing I like about El Paso is right across the border, Juarez. Yeah. You can get anything you want in Juarez. You know what I'm talking about? You know what they call a virgin in Juarez, sir? Liar. Fucking liar. But you know what? Those titty bars in Mexico are nasty. You ever been to a titty bar in Mexico, sir? Never? Shut up, you still have a nipple mark right here in your forehead. They are nasty. I'm telling you, like they'll take anybody to get to dance. I mean, I'm telling you. So the last gig I had in El Paso, it was my birthday. So after the gig, some friends of mine took me across to Juarez. And you have to be drunk to go to a titty bar in Juarez. I couldn't get drunk enough. And so they got me there, and oh man, I just didn't want to be there. They paid for a lap dance. A girl gave birth right there at my table. Oh, there was menudo everywhere. I had to take the nachos back to the kitchen. Is that too soon? Is that too soon? I had to find out where the line is. I'll back up a little bit. You guys are a great crowd. Oh man, but I'm from the south side of Tucson. The reason I asked about the neighborhood earlier, my neighborhood was tough growing up. Oh man, it was a bad neighborhood. My neighborhood was so tough, the local YMCA stood for Your Mama's a Crack Addict. That's how bad it was. Just to give you an idea how bad it was, some guy had a yard sale down the street. He sold everything in the house. He didn't even live there. Real tough Mexican neighborhood, man. I grew up with a bunch of Mexican kids, and we, you know, they were all traviesos. They were always getting in trouble, breaking windows and stealing bikes and that kind of stuff. But we were little kids, you know. We still played the little kid games like freeze tag and hide and go seek. But sometimes we changed them. Remember that game, kick the can? Remember that game? We changed that to kick the Mexican. You learn not to fall down in our neighborhood. That's what. Everything was Mexican about that neighborhood. My first dog was a rescue from Mexico, believe it or not. At least that's what they told us when we got her at the dog pound. And it was confirmed the first time, about 10 or 11, I gave her some leftover chorizo, and she asked me for a tortilla. And a side of beans, can you believe that? And she did it in Spanish. she got out. We couldn't find her like for 3 or 4 days. Finally found her a week and a half later in a Walmart parking lot. She was selling tamales. That's when we knew. Right there. Don't laugh. The bitch stole my job. But you know, the thing was back then, everybody had to have a watchdog, right? And back then, the German Shepherds were the dog of choice. Because they were big dogs, ferocious. They had a mean bite on them. And they were, you know, tough, good watchdogs. And I'll tell you what made a better watchdog in our neighborhood. A goose. I didn't know how mean geese were. They are mean. One family bought their kid a goose. This goose would chase you around the neighborhood. Honk, honk, honk. You know, nipping at your ass and biting your, trying to trip you at your ankles. Honk. It would make the German Shepherds, it would chase them up and down the street. That son of a bitch was a good watchdog. Up until about Christmas. Then it came up missing. Poor kid was devastated. Somebody stole my goose. Somebody stole my goose. But man, did we eat good that Christmas. A lot of the families back then would go back and forth to Mexico to buy stuff because it's cheaper in Mexico. Furniture, you know, clothes, food, you know. And then sometimes they take me with them. Even now, people will go all the way down to Mexico for stuff like gas. Gas is cheaper there. Prescription drugs are cheaper in Mexico. I'm sure you can get the other kind too. But prescription drugs are really, really cheap in Mexico. If you don't have health insurance here, man, that's where you got to go. But it's Mexico. You never know what you're going to get, right? I went to Mexico. I took my wife to Rocky Point, Puerto Peñasco. I wanted to surprise her, so I went to a pharmacy, bought some Viagra. For 4 hours, my arm was like this. Oh, excuse me, like this. Sorry. I couldn't even pee. My arm was so stiff. But I'm very proud to be Mexican. Thanks for giving a shit, folks. Do I have any Latinos here? Any Latinos? That's it? Just 3 of us? That's it? Fuck, that's enough for a revolution. Watch out, crackers. Stand lady, crackers. And here's what's funny. This was pointed out to me. I grew up in a Mexican neighborhood with people who were from Mexico. I don't speak a lick of Spanish. But I was told that I speak English with a mean Mexican accent. I don't know where that came from. But you know, my gringo friends, they make fun of me. Dude, you're not a real Mexican. Hell, I got an order for you at Taco Bell. Shit. Say you're proud to be Mexican. You were born here. That makes you like a Chicano or a Hispanic. So I decided to combine those 3 words, Mexican, Chicano, Hispanic. So now when people ask about my ethnicity, I can tell them, you see, Mexican, Chicano, Hispanic, I think that makes me a mechanic. I see you know some mechanics here, all right. But I've been having a great couple months, man. I went to a class reunion, woohoo! I was excited, class reunion, woohoo! Party on! It sucked. Because I was homeschooled. Freaking sister didn't even show up, man. She was my prom date. No, I told you, that joke is not true at all. That's a bullshit joke. I wrote it because we did have a class reunion, and I went to public school, class reunion, and this one kind of, it was a little awkward for me because there was an ex-girlfriend that showed up. I hadn't seen her since high school. And oh, she was gorgeous back then in high school. She was a cheerleader, and I was a band nerd. But oh man, she cheated on me. She broke my heart. Cheated on me bad. And you think I would have caught on the minute she told me she was Mormon? She broke up with me because she was Mormon. Her exact words were, the more men, the better. I knew it wasn't going to work out, though. I knew it wasn't going to work out. It was just as well. She was dumb as a bag of hammers. I swear. Back in science class, she thought the Big Bang Theory was a ride home on the football bus. That's oh, don't move me. She was a cheater, not me. But I got to tell you, I love growing up in that neighborhood. I love going to school. Anybody have any nicknames growing up? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes? What is your nickname?
Mooner.
Mooner?
Mooner.
Booner, not Boner. Yeah, that was his nickname, Boner. Booner, okay. Do they still call you that?
Yeah.
I had a nickname. And I was born preemie. I spent 8 weeks in an incubator, so I was small. I didn't have a growth spurt until like my junior year in high school. So my dad called me Squirt. Hey Squirt, how was school today, Squirt? Did you get your homework done, Squirt? It was kind of cute. It was all right. And so it wasn't bad. And I loved going to school. I loved everything about my neighborhoods except this one day in 6th grade. Now it's coming back to me. In 6th grade, remember that when you had that sex talk in health class, okay, about how babies were made? And, you know, I was in 6th grade. I never thought about it much. But they had illustrations and pictures of where everything goes and shit. And I felt really overwhelmed because, you know, I was thinking, I never thought about my mom giving it up to my dad. You know? I was overcome with emotion, and I remember I was depressed walking home slow that day. And my dad had beat me home when I got there. I kicked open the door. He says, "Hey, how's my little Squirt?" "Dad, you can't call me that anymore." Obvious reasons. Son of a bitch. No, but my dad and I were cool. We were cool. And you know, it was funny because he's been gone for some time, but he was getting to that age where we all get to, where we don't give a shit about anything. We don't care who we offend. We don't care what we say, what people think about it. His big thing was opening the door wearing nothing but his underwear. That was it. He scared the shit out of Jehovah's Witnesses, I'll tell you. Even me, I'd come over, "Dad, let me in. Come on in, son." And his underwear was older than I was, you know. Everything was hanging down to the ground and had holes like Swiss cheese. "Dad, go put some shorts on or something, Pop. I can see those things. They look like a couple bruised avocados, Dad." Jeez, and he'd grumble, "It's my house. I can do whatever I want here." Then he said, "Wait a minute. I think I got something for you. Weren't you a Star Trek fan as a kid?" "Yeah. Here's the mothership." "Seriously, Pop, go put some shorts on. Look, you're leaving a snail trail right here on the carpet. You don't even have hair on those things anymore. They look like a Yankee slingshot." And now my kids make fun of me because I walk around the house in my underwear. But it was a different time back then. Remember having to do chores?
Yes.
Yeah, our parents taught us character by making us do chores. You know, you needed money, you did chores. You needed more money, you just did more chores. Nowadays, parents will just give their kids money. I don't get that. And kids are smart asses about it. You know, I remember I asked my dad for $10. My dad's answer was always the same. "What do you think, I shit money?" And it was funny because he didn't have a Mexican accent. He spoke Spanish, but he was just playing right out the box. "Hey, Dad, can I have a bite for my birthday? What do you think, I shit money?" That was it. "Dad, can we have a hamburger with these fries? What do you think, I shit money?" You know, and it got to be a joke. But that was it. There was no negotiating. There was an exclamation point at the end of that. We didn't argue. We just went about our way. My son asked me the other day, "Hey, Dad, can I have $50? And just like my dad, "What do you think, I shit money?" He says, "I don't know, but can I clean your ass for some change?" Smart asses, man. I got pulled over by a young cop. Must have been early 30s. And he was just a smart ass. I mean, I did everything I could to keep from getting that ticket. Yes, sir, no, sir. I answered all his questions. And he was just being a jerk. Okay? The last straw was when he took my license and saw the birthday and started making fun of my age. "Wow! You were born in 1959? You could have been my father." I said, "Show me pictures of your mom, I'll tell you." I'm sure I recognize parts of her. Who's your dad? Who's your dad? Who's your dad? Just show me a pic of the top of her head, maybe I'll recognize her. That's going to be the best fine I ever paid in my life. And the one thing this generation has over us is the choice of TV shows. Like they got Tubi and Roku and Netflix and all that. In fact, Mexicans, Mexicanos, my Mexican people, we have our own superhero. Did you ever see that movie, The Blue Beetle, on Netflix? They had a movie. Did you see that? It was The Blue Beetle. We have our own superhero. They call him The Blue Beetle because nobody come out to see the brown cucaracha. And then they had the Barbie movie out for a while. That was kind of cool. You know, and because it was kind of pretentious. You know, they had Barbie the doctor, Barbie the lawyer, even Barbie the president of the United States. Bullshit. You know, for once I like to see, I'm Mexican from the south side of Tucson. Give me a Barbie I can relate to, like a hoochie mama Barbie. You know? Works at the dollar store, hickeys all over her neck. A crack baby named Stacy, something. The Barbie doll is in Section 8 housing, that's something. And then what they get you, they have these shows now that you get sucked into their what is series. And they just, you know, you binge watch them. And oh man, I'm a sucker for those. I was watching this show called Alone. And Alone is a game. It's a contest. They drop people off various parts of the wilderness. You gotta fend for yourself. You gotta create your own fire, build your own shelter to live in. Kind of like camping on steroids. But these people will eat the nastiest shit. If they can't kill a fish or catch a fish or whatever, they will eat insects and bugs and worms and anything else you might find in the Philly Berto's burrito. I swear the other night I was watching this, some guy was starving so bad, he killed a rabbit and ate it raw. I swear. Killed a rabbit and ate it raw. Oh man, he got sick, they had to get him off the island, he was constipated, took him to the hospital. I think the guy died. Man, doctor said he had a wild hair up his ass. I don't care what your pronoun is, that shit's funny. My wife, she thinks she's funny. We're at the age, both of us, and we're starting to forget little things. So the other morning she woke up, she was trying to tell me a story, but she was getting real frustrated because she couldn't remember people's names, faces, who they were. And I was making fun of her. I finally rolled over in the bed and I said, hey, just in case, I'm Dave, your husband. She looks at me, she says, what? You mean I'm married? Funny bitch. But she does, she thinks, I wanted her opinion. I've been doing comedy for about 20, 25 years. And I told her, hey, I'm thinking about doing a one-man show. She says, why, don't people show up? That's grounds for divorce right there, I'm telling you. But here's how I get even. I just piss her off. Okay? She's mad at me right now because our washing machine broke down. And she wanted me to run out and buy another washing machine. Bullshit. Those things are over $1,000. I wasn't going to do that. Plus, man, we're fixers. You know, we try to figure out something until we have the money or the time to do whatever it takes. So I told her we don't need a washing machine, and just to convince her, I started doing loads of our underwear in the dishwasher. You know, little things, chonies, underwear, socks, and bras, you know, that kind of stuff. It's a dishwasher, got them washed, right? Except now you never know what you're scraping off the salad plates in our house. My son came up to me with a plate. Dad, is this some dried ranch dressing? You better hope it is. Go cover it up with some mashed potatoes. Go. 99.9999% true, I'm telling you. That shit is true. So I finally broke down and went to Walmart to price some washing machines. And sure enough, $1,100, $1,500, you know, it was crazy. So I told the manager, go find me one of those scratch and sniff ones you got in the back. Scratch and dent. Scratch and sniff is totally different. So while he was checking for it, I struck up a conversation with the security guard there. And have you ever been in a store where somebody, they mistake you for an employee, you know, and they come up to you and you got to tell them, hey, I don't work here, you know. So they have blue vests at Walmart. I was wearing a blue t-shirt, you know, same color, but mine was a t-shirt. Some older lady comes in, and I guess she was having trouble with static clean, although I didn't know it at the time. She comes right up to us and asks me specifically, excuse me, sir, do you have dryer balls? Well, I used to until I started using lotion. And now they don't change so much. And then I turned to the security guard and said, how are your boys doing? And he just starts busting up. The manager comes out, she comes, oh, why I never? And she walks around, files a complaint. I got banned from Walmart. I can't go back to Walmart, man. It's just crazy. Has your wife ever done this? My wife is notorious for this, pisses me off all the time. She'll ask me a question, and then she'll walk out of the room before I answer. It drives me crazy. You know, hey honey, how was your doctor appointment the other day? And I'm trying to think which doctor appointment, and then she starts to leave. That's some bullshit right there. I'm going to teach her a lesson. I'm going to lie to her. I follow her in the hallway and I say, the doctor said I should be able to sleep in all day if I want. Have breakfast for me, ready to go the minute I wake up. Have a woman at my beck and call and be tucked in at night. So she put me in a nursing home. Oh, laugh, I gotta be back there at 10:30. Yeah, I better leave now. Thank you from the Golden Girls over here, yeah. You relate to these next jokes, I know you will. I'm at that age where acid reflux is a flavor, that's all I'm saying. I swear, and our body changes, you know. When I was younger, I looked like Kenny Shane, man. I was muscular. I was buff. And now I'm buffet. Your body changes. Do we have any men in here over the age of 55? Any men over the age of 55? Clap your hands. Yep. They'll be able to relate. We have no bladder control. None. None. I dribble more than the Harlem Globetrotters. That's all I'm saying. I swear, a good hard 20-second pee now takes 10 minutes. That's some bullshit right there. Alzheimer's, I'm afraid of Alzheimer's. Don't want to get Alzheimer's. Runs in the family. Had an uncle diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And right before he was diagnosed, he came over to the house to borrow $1,000. He had to fix his truck. And I loaned it to him. He was my uncle. What am I going to do? He got diagnosed, now he doesn't remember. On the plus side, I've been able to collect 3 times. Yeah. Doctor said I had to lose weight, and he sent me to a nutritionist. Get this, the nutritionist was 3 times fatter than I was. That's some bullshit. That's like trying to get marriage counseling from a priest. So, I tried to lose weight. Every diet imaginable. I had a friend I used to work with. She used to eat and make herself throw up. What is that called? Bulimia or something like that? I couldn't do that. She said, well, try this. You lose weight, she said, if you eat naked in front of a mirror. So I tried that. The mirror blew up. The mirror lost 25 pounds. We have a hill in Tucson called Tumamoc Hill. And it's huge. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like the size of a mountain. And people go there for exercise. So I have the best of friends. My friends call me up and say, hey man, we hear you're on the verge of a heart attack. We're going to pick you up 5 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to go climb Tumamoc. Oh my God, I was dying. It was like, I couldn't breathe. I was sweating profusely. I was in tears. Dude, call 911. Call 911. The guy said, dude, we're still in the parking lot. The mountain's over there. So I finally lost weight. Now this is over 8 months. My wife put me on an all-protein, no-carb diet. But by then I was already depressed. I was moody. I was mopey. And I was walking around feeling sorry for myself. And she got tired of it. You know what? I'm sick of this. Screw that diet. If you got to cheat. I'm done with watching you do this. If you got to cheat. She walked out of the room. I figured, okay, well at least that's an option. And everything was fine and dandy until I brought my girlfriend home and now I'm the asshole, I don't know. But I'm just trying to live. I want to live as long as possibly can. Remember COVID? That was crazy, right? People dying left and right, getting the shots of boosters. And if you didn't get your shots of boosters, America, Jack, I'm on your side. But we got shots and boosters, people had side effects. from the shots and boosters. My wife, she got the migraine headaches. The gal next door, she had cramps on the inside of her legs. Even me, I got an STD. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it was COVID though. Or the gal next door, one of the two. But I've had COVID 4 times. I was going to tell this joke, but you guys are a great crowd. So 4 times I've had it, and every time, when you're around my age, I got diabetes, and I'm up in age, and so I'm worried, because you have 14 days, 10 to 14 days, and you don't know if you're going to live or not. Day 6 and 7 are the worst, and I'm thinking, am I going to get intubated? Am I going to have to go to the hospital? Am I not going to make it? Even with the boosters, people are still dying. And the one thing I would think is that, okay, if I were to die, who could I trust? Being the loving husband and father that I am, who can I actually trust to destroy my cell phone and computer hard drive? That's what I am. Yeah, you guys are my kind of Catholics. I like that. Remember the toilet paper shortage? Remember that was fun, huh? Couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. We had to go to a bootlegger in our neighborhood. An old drug dealer stopped selling drugs and sell toilet paper. $40 a roll. Shit. You can get a whole 4-pack for $80, and that was still a good deal. Yeah, it was crazy. I got tired of paying those prices, so I got smart. That Christmas, I saved all the tamale husks. Oh, we saved a lot of money. Shit, yeah. We all had rations, but we were clean, Jack. I gotta tell you this story, because this happened. This is a true story. Okay, no bullshit to this one. I came back and went to Mexico City this summer, and I also went to Guadalajara, and I noticed that they have public restrooms. If you've ever been to Mexico, they got public restrooms. 9 times out of 10, they have a female outside, and they'll give you 3 little squares of toilet paper for 50 cents. That's it. If you gotta use the bathroom, you gotta pay 50 cents. You get 3 little squares. That's it. I'm looking at them. I'm telling her in Spanish, I can't even blow my nose with this shit. What is this? And she says, well, that's all you get, sir. And just then, a big old guy with a fat ass, big fat dude, walking by, I said, what about you have an ass like his? She told me in Spanish, I'm going to translate. Sir, the asses are all different, but the holes are all the same. I can't write shit that good. That was... Oh, man. But yeah, I was teaching at the time, and I decided to retire and started doing other things. For a while, I was a night stalker at the grocery store. At least that's what the restraining order said. But also went to bartending school, man. That was fun. How about a round of applause for your bartenders? Make sure to take care of them, because man, I'll tell you what, it's a fun job, but it's not easy, because you got to memorize all the old drinks, the Tom Collins whiskey sours, Singapore slings, and all the new ones. And the new ones have risque names like Sex on the Beach, Slow Comfortable Screw Against the Wall, the Blow Job, that kind of stuff. First bartending gig I had, the first time a girl asked me for a buttery nipple, I pulled up my shirt and showed her mine. Well, you get to mix these drinks. When you go to college, you get to mix these drinks and practice at home. So I'm practicing at home, mixing a bunch of shit up, and I yell at my wife, hey, honey, how would you like a screaming orgasm? She says, why? Is the pool guy here again? What? And we don't even have a pool. That's some bullshit. So, I taught for 40 years. Any teachers in here? Really? What do you teach?
I teach 6th grade.
6th grade. Okay, you relate to some of this. How about a big round of applause? Tell you what, teachers are like Vietnam vets. You don't know, you weren't there.
Amen.
And so, I was a teacher for 40 years. I got fired from one job. And I moved around a lot, which helped, but it was always my personality. My personality would get me in trouble because people are so sensitive, nobody can take a joke anymore, right? Okay, I'll tell you what happened. It was my first time I was an assistant principal. I just got an assistant principal gig. School hadn't even started yet, and I'm meeting my monitor and security staff. I'm reading their name tags. Oh, Mr. Gonzalez, nice to have you. Mr. Johnson, welcome aboard. Miss Garcia, I'm glad you could make it. And little scrawny Anglo lady, just feisty as hell. I couldn't read her name tags. My name is Miss Mulatalo, Mrs. Mulatalo. And I'm looking at her like she's Anglo. Okay, what is that? That's different. Is that like Hawaiian? She said, no, my husband, he's Samoan. And I said, well, I'm some Mexican. When I'm cutting the grass, that's when I'm Samoan. And she ratted me out. I was in the principal's office 2 hours later. They were going to fire me for a racial slur. Could you believe that shit? It wasn't even my joke. It was a friend of mine, Patrick Candelaria from El Paso. Rest in peace, he just passed away. But I'm telling him the story, he's laughing his ass off. He says, serves you right for stealing my joke. Well, that's not why I got fired. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. So as far back as I can remember, I taught middle school. Oh, I got to tell you, this happened to me. And this was funny in the mall the other day. A gal rushes up to me, Mr. Mambrilla, Mr. Mambrilla. She has grandkids with her, a couple grandkids with her. She says, do you remember me? I was your middle school student about 30 years ago. And I'm trying to do the math. 30 years ago, I got a pin at about 42, 43, maybe something like that. And I'm trying to rewind. And she's telling me how much she loved my class, how much of a great teacher I was, la da da da. But she can notice that I'm looking right through her. I'm not looking at her. I'm trying to figure this out. So she says, you don't know who I am, do you? And I said, I'm sorry, I'm trying to picture what you look like as a 12, 13-year-old. She says, pervert, and she takes a break. I swear that happened, man, that was crazy. But anyway, when 6th graders are, and you'll vouch for this, when they're in 5th grade, they walk around like their shit don't stink. Okay? And when they get in middle school, they're scared to death. So I always have 6th graders first period. So I have this icebreaker. That I tell them, I get them together, and just to calm them down, I say, okay, who's the smartest kid in here? You almost had them all jumping up, pick me, I'm smart. Okay, Johnny, in a minute I'm going to ask you a question. How you answer that question is going to determine how smart you are. You ready? He says, yeah. I said, okay. Do you have any holes in your underwear? And all the other kids start to giggle, and he's looking around and, no. And I say, well, how do you get your legs through? Joke, right? You're going to be telling that to your grandkids tomorrow, watch. And so they work hard for me. After that, they love me. We have a great year. When I was about 26, 27, I was asked to teach at the community college. And people from all ages can go to community college, 40s, right out of high school. So I was young, and the first day of class, I was starting to get an anxiety attack because students were coming in and thinking, wow, are they going to treat me like a professor or like a kid? And I couldn't get it. What can I'm going to use that little brain teaser. I'm going to use that icebreaker, and I'll win them over, and they'll love me. Just then, this beautiful redhead, fiery green eyes, beautiful complexion, a body that wouldn't quit. One of them dresses that form-fitted to her body all the way down her ankles. And she comes walking down the steps, right there all the way, floor level. She could reach out and touch me. And I thought, oh, shit. Now I got to deal with not staring at this bombshell all night. Okay, let's get this class started. I said, okay, class, I'm looking for the smartest person in here. Okay, and she's the only one who raises her hand. Nobody else. Okay, ma'am, do you think you're pretty smart? She said, well, I am in college. And then she said this, duh. And the Chicano dudes over there, the older guys, oh, she said, duh, to you, dude. Oh, she burned you. And I was taken aback, like, where'd that come from? All right, you don't play like that? Okay, gloves come off, right? And I looked at the Chicano dudes and I said, watch this. Okay, ma'am, in a minute I'm going to ask you a question. How you answer that question is going to determine how smart you are. You ready? And she said, yeah. All right. Do you have any holes in your underwear? She looks at me just like this. I'm not wearing underwear. I have nothing. I have no comeback, nothing. Never mind the sexual harassment implications. I'm a comedian. I have no comeback, nothing. But that's not why they fired me. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So, and she'll vouch for this too. Whenever we have a teacher that calls in sick and we can't get a sub for them, we have to cover, right? And it sucks. Nobody likes doing it. Okay? So one day I get this note saying you got to cover 4th grade, 5th graders, social studies class. So I get there and there's no lesson plans. Nothing, which makes it suck even more. So I asked the kids, I said, hey, what's this about? It's just a note that says, teach them about the 50 states. And the kid says, sir, she wants to test us on the 50 states, and we haven't even started that unit yet. And I said, you don't know anything about the 50 states? Well, you know Arizona. So I'm thinking, shit, what do I do? I got them for a whole hour. And then the comedian in me kicked in. I said, okay guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this a game. Okay, I'm gonna give you a rhyme, riddle, or a joke about each state. You tell me what state I'm talking about, okay? And they were all jazzed. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be fun. In fact, you guys can play along. Let's see if you're smarter than a 5th grader, okay? Let's see. So here's the first question. When cell phones first came out, which state had the highest cell phone bill? Anybody? No, not California.
New York.
Nope.
Arizona.
Texas. Texas. Oh, shut up! That was clever. Come on now. Okay. Well, now you know how the game goes. This will be an easy one for you then. Okay, what state sounds like a small soft drink? A small soft drink. Minnesota. And you know what? It sounds corny, but you can see the kids mouthing it. Minnesota. So, they're trying to retain the information. They're learning, right? Here's another easy one for you. Okay. What state is a pirate's favorite? Arkansas. Arkansas. Okay. You're not going to get this one, so don't feel bad. They didn't get it either. What state has the largest people? The largest people. You ready? Oh my gosh, Utah! I'll leave you with this one. Which state has the most baby mamas? The most baby mamas. Anybody? Most baby mamas? Okay, here it is. Ready? Idaho. Idaho. That's a joke that got me fired, folks. Idaho, I swear. Oh, man.